Hello. CELLUVie is Undenatured, Biogenic Whey Protein Isolate, and a glutathione precursor. CELLUVie is a tri-peptide complex, made from minimally processed, fresh dairy whey. It is one of the highest pharmaceutical-grade whey protein isolates on the market today, with many people reporting positive personal anecdotes. Glutathione is a protein, naturally occurring in the body, which supports the protection of cells, tissues and organs from premature aging and illness. Glutathione supports a healthy immune system, cellular energy production, and detoxification of the bloodstream. Glutathione, known as the master antioxidant, supports the proper functioning of every single cell in your body, helping it to regain its ability to heal itself. Glutathione plays important roles in antioxidant defense, nutrient metabolism, and regulation of cellular events, including gene expression, DNA and protein synthesis, cell proliferation and apoptosis, signal transduction, cytokine production and immune response, and protein glutathionylation. Watch the following 2 videos to learn more, then click link in description to get your CELLUVie from CTFO today.
According to a University of Michigan study, at least 2/3 of bad health or increased sickness and disease is related to low levels of one powerful molecule in your body. Shockingly, after age 20, your levels of this supermolecule plummet 10% every 10 years. The name of this evasive anti-aging supermolecule is glutathione. In the next few minutes, I want to share how to stimulate your cell's natural production of glutathione that supports the health of your cells, which become your tissues, which become your organs such as your heart and your liver, and ultimately become you. It all started with the largest cell, the female egg. In the smallest human cell, the male sperm cell, that's where cell replication begins. Fast forward to adulthood. Your body's made up over 100 trillion cells. Your eyes, your nose, your ears, your heart, your liver, your fingernails are all made up of cells. Every second, approximately 3 million cells die and 3 million cells are replicated. For example, a new liver every 300 to 500 days. Your skin, the largest organ with a weight of 8 to 15 pounds, is completely replaced every 39 days. Your heart's endothelial cells, those are the cells that line the inside of your heart, are replicated every 6 years. Do you want to replicate healthy cells or unhealthy cells? Do you want to delay the aging process or speed up the aging process along with illness and disease? So what's the solution? Glutathione. I wish it was as easy as taking a glutathione supplement, but glutathione supplements are almost completely destroyed by your stomach acids in the digestive tract. That's why we created CELLUVie Superfood. CELLUVie acts as a precursor, more easily navigating through the gut and into your cells, where it delivers the building blocks that jumpstarts your cell's production of its own glutathione. The increase of glutathione helps regulate the immune system, is a primary antioxidant, and detoxifies cells, supporting healthy cell replication. CELLUVie is a tri-peptide complex made from minimally processed fresh dairy whey. It's one of the highest pharmaceutical-grade whey protein isolates on the market today. We have our very own unique manufacturing process developed with the scientific team backed by over 20 years of knowledge. This makes CELLUVie one of a kind. We're also known to be up to 40% less expensive than our closest competition, while being 50% more bioavailable. The health of your cells today determines your tomorrow. Simply click the Shop Now button to order CELLUVie right now. And remember, CELLUVie comes with a 60-day money-back guarantee. You have absolutely nothing to lose. A better version of you could be just 30 days away.
For
everybody who's out there, we're going to get started. This is the Thursday night webinar, a product called CTFO. My name is David D'Arcangelo. We have a special guest tonight, but before I tell you about Dr. Stephen Trobiani's background, let's set the ground rules. We're here to talk about CELLUVie. I just want to share with you, been around a long time, run a couple public companies, run a lot of businesses in the nutrition and business area. I have never seen a product come to market and receive as many unsolicited before and after pictures. Usually you have to coax people and offer prizes and everything. This is one of the most, you've done well when that happens, and you feel so happy and so good for them that they have these great things and they can show you in before and afters, and they're so proud to do that. CELLUVie is a unique proprietary process, is the way this product is produced, that helps delay the aging process, increase youthful energy that we'll talk about tonight, and delay skin aging from the inside. Our guest tonight, Dr. Stephen Trobiani, is a board-certified neurologist. He graduated from Loyola University of Chicago's Strick School of Medicine, Medical School, 1976. Not to date you, Dr. Trobiani, but then you concluded your residency training at Yale University in 1983. So just for the people out there, what is a neurologist? And just to give you a perspective, neurologists they diagnose and treat diseases of the brain, spinal cord, peripheral nerves, muscles, and the involuntary nervous system that controls the heart, lungs, and organs. They treat headache, stroke, dementia, seizures, epilepsy, multiple sclerosis, sleep disorders, and neuromuscular diseases. Welcome, Dr. Trobiani. I hope that covers a little bit of your background.
That does it in pretty good fashion.
Well, I just, why we're talking about CELLUVie. CELLUVie is a glutathione precursor, which means, it provides the body, the cells, with the ingredients, the building blocks it needs to produce glutathione. Why do we need glutathione?
We need glutathione for the same reason that we need ATP. And we need ATP for the same reason that we need gas in our cars. If your gas tank is empty, your car is not going anywhere. It's going to sit in your garage, it's going to rust, and eventually it's just going to fall apart. Your car, no matter how expensive a vehicle it was when you bought it, is pretty much worthless. You have to have fuel to run your car, and we have to have fuel to run our bodies. The fuel running our bodies is ATP, otherwise known as adenosine triphosphate. Now, the mitochondria in our cells is responsible for making ATP, and glutathione facilitates the mitochondrial production of ATP. So the more glutathione you have, the easier it is for the cells to make ATP. The more ATP you have, the more gas you have to run your body, the more fuel you have to run your body. We need that fuel. Every cell needs that fuel. And one of the reasons that our peak performance athletically and physically is reached at about age 20, because that's about the age where we produce the maximum amount of glutathione. After that, it declines. And as it declines, so does our cellular function, organ function, and our ability to do anything physically.
So when you're young, you have plenty of glutathione. By the time you get to 20, your body starts to produce less and less glutathione. You're 30, you're 40, you're 50, you're 60. So what you just talked about, your mitochondria gets into this glutathione. Your cells produce the glutathione, which are needed to produce the energy, correct? So if you don't have the correct amounts of glutathione in your cells, what's the curve look like after 30, 40, and 50?
It's pretty bad, actually. When they draw that curve and they talk about being over the hill, it's because after 40, your glutathione level is just dropping like a rock. So you've lost 40% of your glutathione by the time you're 40 years old. By the time you're 70, which I now am, since we talked about the years I graduated, that's not surprising, you've lost 70% of your glutathione. It's not surprising that people over the age of 70 begin to get tired because they're just not making enough ATP. And you're not making enough ATP because they're not making enough glutathione. Glutathione is probably a rate-limiting factor in the production of ATP in every cell in our body.
So I'm 30 years old. I can whip the world. I'm so strong. But wait a second. If I'm active under stress, work out, run, do whatever, the hectic lifestyle, does it, kind of, your cells don't get enough, you use it, and it's constantly striving to produce more. So even at the younger ages, you need.
Okay, let's talk about that for a minute, because if you're under stress, you're using more ATP.
Right.
Your body needs more ATP than it's probably able to produce. If you're competing physically, you need more ATP. The things that use the most ATP in our body are our muscular system, which uses an enormous amount of ATP, our brain, and our heart.
Right.
They use up the majority of ATP. And it's not surprising that as we age, those are the things we see decline. So you see loss of muscle mass in people as they get older. You see problems with heart disease as people get older, and you see problems with cognition as people get older.
Oh, it's just
tell me if we've lost.
It's just amazing. Since
can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, good. Because
Yep.
My screen froze, and I'm not sure whether I'm cutting out or not. I've had a problem with my internet here tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's good right now. So for everybody, if you're under stress, if you have children, if you work, you're working hard, you're working out, you're an athlete, you want to provide the fuel so that your body and your brain can operate closest to its peak mental and physical capabilities. Would that be a good way of saying it?
That's exactly right. So even at the age of 30, though your body hasn't lost all that much glutathione, if you are really, really active, if you're under a lot of stress, you probably need to supplement your glutathione because
Right.
your body's in need of producing more ATP.
Right. And what's its impact on cell replication? Because the old story of we're made up of trillions of cells, and every second that you and I are talking and people are listening, 2 or 3 million cells die, 2 or 3 million are replicated. You're either replicating healthy, energetic cells, or you're doing the contrary, which you don't want to do. Can we talk about that a little bit?
Well, it goes back to the statement I made that cell function is based pretty much on the amount of ATP that's being produced. The mitochondria in the cell play a very pivotal role. If the mitochondria is able to produce more ATP than your cellular function needs, then the cell is healthy. If the ATP production drops, then cell function becomes sluggish. And of course, when cells become sluggish, organs become sluggish, and our body becomes sluggish. And we decline, we develop illnesses. Now, in terms of cell production, again, all activity in our bodies has a enzymatic process that underlines that activity. Underlying cellular replication are a number of enzymatic processes that are fueled by ATP. So if you're going to produce healthy cells, again, you need an amount of ATP that's sufficient to do that. If you don't have it, then what you're reproducing essentially are unhealthy cells.
Wow. Dr. Tropiani, I want to segue a little bit. And the people watching and the ones who will watch the replay, there'll be hundreds and thousands of people. There's the bold question. Have you tried the product?
Oh, yeah, I've tried the product.
What's your family's experience with CELLUVie? How strongly do you feel about it?
Okay, when it came out, I actually, Doug Overvold, who I have been working with for a long time,
Right.
asked me what I knew about glutathione, and I said, Doug, glutathione is a really, really important protein in our body. Without glutathione, we don't make ATP the way we should, and it's responsible for some of the aging that takes place. So when he talked about this, I wanted to get hold of it right away and give it a try. So as soon as it came out, I had 3 bags that came to my house. I took 3 scoops for 10 days. And then since I've been told to do it this way, I dropped it to 2 scoops for 10 days. And right about the end of that time, the clubs had opened. So I went over to my club because I have an indoor track, right, and started running. So I'd run a mile, decided to then do some sprints. And the interesting thing was, at the end of this, my first sprint.
Wait a minute, you told me you were 70?
I am 70.
You're 70 running sprints. I want everybody who ever watches this video to take a lesson from a 70-year-old superstar.
No, physically, I'm not a superstar. But so I was coming around the sprint, and this is the second day. The first day I just did 3 sprints. The next day I was coming around on the first sprint, and I said, I got a lot of gas left in the tank. I'm going to really kick it up and see how fast I can go. And so I was coming around to the end of that lap, and I tore my hamstring because I had run faster than I've ever run.
Oh my gosh. I knew you had a great experience. You did some running, but I didn't know you ran so fast you tore your hamstring.
I ran so fast I tore my hamstring. Wow. I'd actually run faster than I'd ever run in my life.
Wow.
So now, if you've ever torn a hamstring, it's very painful. Yes. It stopped me dead in my tracks. I limped out of the club, literally had to pick the leg up to put it into the car so that I could drive myself home. Limped in home, went to just sit down and didn't do anything for the rest of the day because I was in severe pain. Now, I've treated people with torn hamstrings because part of my practice is a therapy practice. And we've seen a lot of torn hamstrings. They take at least 2 months to heal. So I figured I was done for 2 months. Now, I tore this on Saturday. By Monday, I had no pain. I was walking. I was able to fully extend my leg, and I could, if I wanted to, start running again right then and there. Wow. 2 days is incredible. I've never seen anybody heal from a torn hamstring in 2 days.
No, you see them limping around for weeks.
Months.
waiting for the cell replication, if they're fortunate enough to be on CELLUVie, to take place and create that healthy muscle.
And I think the reason it happened so quickly is I had already been on it for 2 weeks. So I had already built up the ability for my system to heal more quickly. Now, what I found out afterwards is that the tapering that I was doing, when I talked to the person who invented this, was probably not in my best interest, because he said, go back up to 3 and stay on 3, because if you're treating a condition, you want to maintain that dose until you no longer need to treat a condition, and then you can drop it.
Wow, well that's an amazing personal experience. If let me ask another question. We have about 5 minutes left, and we could go for 2 hours, you and I always love our time together. I learned so much just asking questions, which is the way life's supposed to work. You just keep asking. If there was one product or 2 products or 3 products that you could take and you could only take in your lifetime, what product would it be?
If I was limited to one product and one product only, it would be CELLUVie, because it's so basic. It basically supports every cellular function in every organ in our body, and there's nothing more basic than that. Now, if I had to take a second thing, I would take 10x vitamin, the vitamin mineral supplement.
Yep.
And couple that with this, and then I would take the antioxidant as a third, if you're going to allow me three. But if I only had one, it would definitely be CELLUVie.
Yeah, that's a bold statement. Everybody take that seriously. We read things like, you know, it's been said that glutathione is essential to life itself, and it's a powerful statement, but it's true. Let me just ask you a few the questions that are running through people's heads right now. Do you have to worry about side effects, or if I'm on medication, what do I need to do?
The last time you ate a steak, what were the side effects?
None.
What are the side effects of food?
It was a great steak. It was a prime. It was beautiful.
I mean, you get energy from food. We have to eat food to live. CELLUVie is basically cysteine, glycine, and glutamine in a format that is easily absorbed by your body, so that it doesn't put a strain on your kidney. Basically, if you can't eat protein, then you can't take CELLUVie. But if you can eat protein, there are no side effects from doing that. There are no interactions with any drug, because it's not a drug, it's a food.
Right. It's a food. We forget it's a food.
It's a food.
So if your doctor told you not to eat food, you should always ask your doctor if you're on medication anyway. But
yeah. If your doctor has a dietary restriction, then maybe CELLUVie is a problem. But if he hasn't restricted your diet, then there's no reason to worry about taking CELLUVie with any drug that you're taking.
Right. You know what I like to say, and in closing, and on the website, what we say, and I don't believe we've ever said this with a product up there, is not uncommon to experience change within 30 days. And I think that's what you talked about tonight, not just talking to people about the knowledge side of glutathione and CELLUVie, but your own personal experiences. And it's just not, that's very, very infrequent in this industry. And thankfully we have, as you mentioned, our 10X Ultimate Multivitamin. We've got the 10X Pure Super 1000 product, CBD, CBDA, and leading the charge here. This group with CELLUVie has come on, and I just appreciate that. Those are candid comments. People want to get to the beef of really what's important to them, and I believe you hit on everything tonight. And I just want to say thank you on behalf of not just myself, but the company and CTFO, and everything that you've done since the time we've met you. You've been gracious, honorable, honest, and just a pleasure to work with. So thank you, Dr. Troviani.
Well, thank you for having me on tonight.
Yeah. Thank you, and good night, everybody. And this will be on a replay, and you'll be able to send it out to as many people as you like and share the experience of CELLUVie. Good night, everybody.